Hey guys, what is up? So happy to have you. I know we're glad to be here, and it is an absolute pleasure. What is up, Anakin? Good to see you. Let me know if you get that box tomorrow. Should be there very soon. And tonight we're talking all about Venom 2024 movies, Madame Web, Kraven the Hunter. Let's see what else is coming out. Deadpool 3. So much is coming out. But first, what is up? How's it going?
Hey, what's up? Chilling. Oh, wait, going on. Oh, what an exciting year, huh? We got some bangers coming up, man. I'm actually going to say something that's a shocker, but I'm looking forward to Madame Web.
Oh, yeah?
I'm going to explain to you why in a second. Oh, yeah. I'm hearing some really crazy stuff about Madame Web. So, I mean, what I'm about to say, just take this with a grain of salt, but I'm just hearing some crazy stuff. Today about this, I was just talking about this to one of my I say he's very high up there in the Sony kind of world, and this Madame Web is gonna be going crazy. There's some they're trying to make this canon, just like they're trying to make everything else canon, but I just don't know exactly how they're gonna work it out. But for what I heard, the twist that they're gonna have with the Madame Web character herself, because they are gonna do like the older version of Madame Web. She's the descendant of the original Madame Web. They fixed the story; it could be good, but for what I've seen, like some behind the scene costumes and stuff, it looks actually. I mean, some of the Spider-Woman costumes they look really good. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, like when I saw the first trailer and how they presented it. And the feedback they all got was the same feedback I sent, and which was the same feedback that most people, I believe, sent, which was it had that CW vibe, fan made, just like explaining, like it had that CW vibe, Not. And I'll be honest, I don't say like CW was bad, but I just say like if you were a fan of the CW, the Arrowverse and all that, just know that show's never made money ever. Like the show, it's good, Yeah,
hell of a show.
Welfare, you get. I mean, loved it, but just never turned a profit. I mean, and I don't blame the show necessarily.
How they kept it going for so long when it never turned a profit. That whole thing.
Like you got, or promises are made, credits are bought up, extensions are made, budgets are passed to the next year, and then so on and so forth. So you have this point where they had to sell off. This is like one of the main reasons they had to sell off. But
also when your biggest competitor is yourself.
Yeah, on top of that, but they're trying to actually tie Venom into this as well. This is what I'm really bugging out about, because this Madame Web they're trying to tie Venom into this. Spider-Man, but it's going to be the Spider-Man, Tom Holland Spider-Man. And they're trying
Madame Web.
I mean, I don't know how exactly they're going to pull off, because when they try to explain it, it's kind of all over the place. Like they're not exactly sure how they're gonna do it. But I'll see. I mean, like I'm not saying I'm looking forward to seeing Madame Web or anything, but I am saying from what I can gather from what I see so far, this may be a key movie. And it's just I don't know. It's just like what I saw the second trailer. See, that's why I gotta get you the second trailer. Then you'll understand and you'll be like, oh, okay, the second trailer makes more sense. The first trailer, like I said, gave me that CW vibe. The second trailer, it's more like, if you guys know about the Inheritors, it's that storyline, Kane and the Inheritors. So I just find it weird to jump that far ahead, but we are in the Venom era anyway, so it kind of makes sense to go into the Inheritors. That's a great story if you pull it off correctly. I mean, it can be done. I just wouldn't have necessarily chose Madame Web to launch it. But it can be done if done correctly. So we'll see what happens. I mean, like, I am going to give it a chance and I'm going to watch it, but I'm not going to be like, looking forward to be like one of the most groundbreaking movies of 2024. But, everything's trying to go into canon, and we'll see what the hell happens. I mean, but I am looking forward to it, believe it or not. I mean, you got no real good Spider-Man movies coming up other than Venom, which that's another thing. That Venom 3, from what I also hear about Venom 3. Ooh. That I'm really hearing some craziness, because it's whole new different Yeah, yeah, it may be a whole new different symbiote from what I'm understanding. I mean, like I'm not. They're not going to go. They may do anti venom from what I'm hearing. That this new one may have an anti venom in it, and I hope so. I mean, if they do, like I said, it all depends on how you do it and how you do it right. You know.
Yeah.
But that venom is going to be like crazy because there's going to be some really like from what I heard in that venom, they are going to be, I guess, trying to create a whole new arc and a couple new characters, but they are leaning to turn Eddie Brock into anti-venom, and this will actually be his last role of the reprise of Venom. There's not going to be any more at the Venom 3, at least not Tom Hardy playing it. So that's going to be the last time he plays it. So Venom 3 is pretty much like a wrap up from the original Venom. I mean, yeah,
I like him as Venom,
but also think about it like this too. I mean, yeah, to me it had a mixed one, meaning that I liked it. I like Tom Hardy, period, as an actor. I think he's awesome. But it's had a mixed one, meaning like I like the first one and the second one had mixes. I actually like the second one because I thought like no one could have pulled off Carnage the way Woody Harrelson pulled it off.
Yeah.
I just love the way Woody Harrelson is. Like he could just go into those kind of psycho roles. Yeah, he could just go right into those psycho roles with no problem. And I loved having that ability to do that, you know. Yeah, he should continue, you know, but you know,
I'm of the camp that
people gotta do different projects and move on.
I'm of the camp that both Venom movies were good. Were they perfect? No.
Yeah.
It's hard to be perfect when you're fighting all of these studio issues. Like
not only that, and that especially you knew how it was back then. I mean, now everything is straightened out, which doesn't make a difference of anything now because everything's pretty much done. But you know, there was so much with the lawsuit, with the property,
exactly,
which is why what I'm about to say is a public service announcement to all my comic book creators out there, all my content creators, all my comic book creators, especially you guys that have IPs. It's the best way to do it is what you guys are doing is independent comic and to make your characters, because you understand with Stan Lee, Steve Ditko, John Romita, all the old school Silver Age giants of Marvel worked for Marvel, even Stan Lee. So, you know, even though he helped create these characters and, you know, this is a big part of what made Marvel, in the end of the day, wasn't theirs. They were hired for a job. So I say this to anyone who has creativity and you got a chance, listen, I did it and I'm happy I did it my way. Because when my comic blows up and I'm someone, now that is all my property. I don't have to worry about going to court or anything. It's under my company. And that's the only thing that I would say to creators is, especially if you're creating something. And I understand like sometimes it's like, look, you could give somebody a story to a company and they'll run with it. And that's fine. Yeah. And I'm not saying don't sell your story like that. But what I'm trying to say is that if you're going to do something like this kind of business, always try to be the person that came and did it. Like, you know, like I made my comic.
Try to be that next level.
I did all that. I did all that. I pretty much produced it. I self-published myself. I made sure because I know that it's a hard way to do it. But I know in the end that it'll be the best way because now, as everything becomes more mature, I don't have to worry about going to court to fight somebody for this and that. I mean, and I don't shit on any crowdfunded or anything like that. But if you have the opportunity to, you know, just try to be your own man, your own woman, your own company. And that's my advice I give to all of new creators out there. And it's hard, believe me. I mean, even to this day, you see Tom McFarlane, he still tries to get funding for his stuff. He's about to make a new movie. And the thing about his Spawn movies, I really want to see it. Blumhouse was supposed to be doing the effects, but they haven't come to terms. I mean, I can understand Tom McFarlane's frustrations. You know, like this is your baby that you've had for the past 30 plus years. And just like, I was a big fan of the 90s Spawn. I thought that was like amazing for his time. It was way ahead of his time. I mean, go back and watch that movie and just look at the special effects for a minute. And you're going to be like, oh man, this is just like 2021 special effects.
Well, and you have this vision in your head of what this character is supposed to be and what you've been building it up to be, like you said, for 30 plus years. and then to be like, oh shit, how am I going to make this come to fruition?
I think
because obviously with what the technology that we have today can make Spawn come to life. I honestly believe that. But it's got to be done with the right budget. It's got to be done with the right people. It's got to be done. Like, there's so much that has to fall into place nowadays that it's difficult.
Yeah.
Because there's the teams out there that can do it.
It is.
But they cost the most money. And
Yeah.
there's the people out there that cost a lot or cost a little bit, but they can't do it to the effect that what we deserve and what Todd McFarlane as the creator of Spawn deserves. So it's that balance.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and that's what it is. You gotta strike that right balance, and that's why I say like what he's doing. I mean, I applaud, but it's very hard. Like to even at that level, we're talking about Tom McFarlane, Todd the God, still has to, be able to conduct business this way. But this is why I try to like always, whenever I'm in this sphere, I'm always trying to think of ways like, how would I have done it? Like, what would I have done to make said movie? Because he thinks so. I think about it all the time. I mean, I don't know if I'm ever gonna make live action of my series, but I would definitely want to do animation for sure. I could definitely see that being something that I would love to do, and so I'm gonna dedicate myself now to that's the next thing I'm gonna start learning. I mean, I'm learning it now. I'll be an animator one day. It's just like I said when I was gonna make a comic. I didn't know anything about it. I taught myself, and I just went out there. What's great about the internet, you can just research anything in the world. You're gonna have man, I wish I had this when I was growing up. The world's not you know what it is? That you gotta know what to ask it. That's what it is. It's two things, kids. Know what to ask Google and know how to talk to your AI. If you figure out those two things, you'll be able to do anything with technology. Yeah. How you talk to your AI is going to be important too. AI is here. I don't shy away from it. I don't use it. Sometimes I'll use it in certain things, but I don't put it into my own work or anything. And I don't crap on it because I understand how the AI engines work. You just can't make anything. People think you could just, no. It's how you express yourself. If you don't talk to it in a certain way, it's going to give you nothing. So you got to understand that these things work in this manner. Internet works in the same way. You got to ask it specifically what you want, and it'll give you what you want. And I think that's the problem with a lot of the kids today. Is that you got all this knowledge, but you don't know what to ask it. You don't know how to ask it. Like, what do I ask?
All
Google.
Of the
like, what do I
live stream thumbnails lately, all of the live stream descriptions, even the title for this one, and the hashtags were created by AI for this video. Because I want to see what AI can do to bring new life to the channel. I want to see if it can really build a good search engine optimization, description, video, tags, all that. Because if that's the case, that takes such a big thing off of my plate. That takes thumbnails off my plate. I can just literally type in what I'm looking for, and then it can design it. I don't have to sit there and play around with it. I can do a couple different versions of it. I can immediately have a working title, and then I can change it as I need to. I can play around with the description. I can play around with the tags. And then obviously, like, the one thing I've found is that it doesn't know how to do tags for YouTube yet. It doesn't know how to truly optimize the tags that it chooses. So that's one of the things I want to continue to build and try to figure out with it, because it's like, this is a tool that I could easily use to then optimize everything that I'm doing on YouTube and TikTok and stuff. And then to realize, hey, this is something that is here to stay. I mean, AI has been around for, I'll argue that it's been around since probably the late 90s. AI in video games, playing against you in sports games. Obviously, that was a very rudimentary version of it, but it still was AI. It was just very rudimentary.
Rudimentary, straight to the point. More mathematics than anything else.
Exactly.
Into graphics. So, I understand that completely. I do have that geekiness about me. No, but so I just say, like, I have a lot of people, and it's mixed emotions. I always like, I get people who like, they really hate AI, and I'm explaining it's, it's here. The
Yeah.
chat GPT people put this in the world. It's here no matter how you feel. And it is gonna take a lot of jobs away. And I say to these people who are gonna lose these jobs, I feel bad what's about to happen to you guys because but it's just like with anything that you gotta understand in life, like you just gotta be able to adapt. Sometimes you're gonna be in an area in a field where you're gonna have to adapt and learn something new. That's why I told all the kids out there, learn a trade, number one. You'll never stop with a trade, trust me. You're always gonna
Yep.
need a plumber, air conditioner, mechanics. Trust me. I always say this to the young people: go get a trade. You will never regret it. Believe me when I tell you, you never regret it. Like that South Park. I love that South Park episode when no one knew how to fix anything, and all the mechanics and the electricians were all the rich people because everybody went to college to get useless degrees. It makes me laugh so much because it's so true. It's so true. I used to have this debate with my friends. I went to college, but I also did trade. I made sure I wanted to learn a trade first. And I specifically remember telling this to all my friends, I'll get the degree, but I want to get the trade first. And they're like, do you know 3 of my friends wind up going to the same trade that I took up, which was air conditioning. They wind up going into that trade. Then, after realizing that, well, maybe college wasn't for them, because college is not for everybody. Mm-hmm. And it's not that college is not for everybody. It's just that you could get a useless degree and do nothing with it. And that doesn't make you an educated person. That just makes you this person that's in student loan debt. What you got to figure out is parlay what you want into a career. Because I think a lot of kids just like show up and they don't understand what they're doing in school. They just show up and, okay, I'm told to go to college, so I'm here taking up whatever. May not be something you like, may not be something you're good at or even interested in. I know a lot of people who, in my previous life when I was in law enforcement, like they went to school for 4 years and they show up with these fancy degrees, and I'm like, but yeah, you went to school, and like, how much money do you owe now? Versus like, I just showed up and got the job. I'm like, I wouldn't have done it in that route, and I don't crap on education. Listen, education is very important, but you gotta understand education is changing too, So you gotta put yourself in a position where
100%.
what you're taking up won't be taken by AI in 5. No, I won't even say 5 years. Let's do like 5 months. 5 months, or it'll be gone. I mean, just think about it like this. Within a decade, driving is going to be a thing of the past. Because all this will be done by AI. And it's just going to be a crazy world because you got to learn how to get along with AI, but don't let AI become the all-encompassing of creativity, because I don't think it ever will. Because like I said, I understand the technology at the birth now to understand what it can eventually become, but it doesn't have what we have. It doesn't have the man. Like it can artificially think, but it doesn't have creativity or imagination. It can only do what you ask it to do, and then try to assimilate what you're talking about into a working form, function, picture, whatever you're telling it to do.
Yeah.
That's what it pretty much do. It's pretty much taking the human interpretation and trying to make something come to life out of that. And so believe me, like I say like this, you're gonna see. I mean, there's artists right now who are actually using this in their comics, and and that's like a big debate that's going on with people like, oh, should you use AI? Shouldn't you use it? I mean, I put it to you like this. If there's a fan base for whatever you like, someone's willing to pay you to do it, I say do it. No matter what anybody thinks. If somebody's willing to pay me and say, look, I'll pay you for AI comics, I may do it. I don't think I'm going to do it in my company because I'm just so freaking, my imagination is so vast. Like I can't even imagine not having this imagination. I can just write forever. For me, it's just going to keep going. I'm glad I have that fount of information. But maybe for somebody, they may need an inspiration, and this will help trigger. I wouldn't use it totally, but I would use it for inspiration if I was a creator that was like, let's say, stuck. I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't say that you should use this 100%.
Exactly.
But like, it's a tool. because I don't want, like, as a creator, you want to be able to control everything. Like I said from the beginning, when it came to this video and I started the company, I did that because, like I said, I could have shot my book around. No. I wanted to make sure that I was in 100% control of everything, including the art, including everything. So when I started it, that's how I figured. I didn't want to put any of that into my working story. Don't need to. I did talk to it about what kind of intro would it write, and it wrote a pretty decent intro. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it did write a pretty decent intro. And I was like, you know what, this is actually not bad, but it doesn't have any depth for writing. People think that you could just sit here now and people getting comics written. No, because if you tell it to just write, you read a couple of pages, it will not make sense. It will just start going off into some gibberish. You gotta experiment with things to see how they work before you can be critical of them in a positive or negative light. That's why instead of me getting mad about AI or endorsing it or hate, I'm going to learn. It's like a tool, and I'm going to tell you what the tool can do, and I'm going to tell you what I think it's good for and what it's not good for. It's good for things like, if you know specifically what you want, it's good for creativity. It's not good to use as a basis of creativity. Like if you don't know what you want and you're just making a bunch of random stuff, that's not creativity. But if you have an idea of what you want, that is creativity. How is that not? Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So one of the things that I've been thinking about lately is the way that writers can use AI.
Yeah.
But also, I found it, I don't know if you saw the Golden Globes where they basically bashed the executives. And they had said, oh yeah, because of the writers' strike, studio executives had to write. It was just trash. It was very dry. I wanted to make a video about it, but I don't want to just like steal the video from the Golden Globes. So I want to like really see what I can do to put my own little spin on it.
Yes.
But it's so funny because a lot of people are like, oh, well, with AI, you could just have people write for you, or the AI could just write it. It's like, no, if you ever read AI writing, if you've ever seen AI artwork, it is perfect. It is far from perfect. It is.
Well, what's funny was you say the AI artwork. I saw some Trump picture, like that he was on a plane, and there was a picture where you could see the AI girl's arm was freaking missing, and they were just like, it was Mark Ruffalo, that fool. He threw it all over Twitter, like, oh look, here's Trump flying out the fantasy island with the chicks. And it's AI generated. You can see the chick arm in the corner, and that she doesn't even have a real arm. That's what AI does. Like it'll give you something, but it's not complete. It'll look passable. It looked passable enough for Mark Ruffalo to totally embarrass himself and put it all over X, and then have millions of people worldwide point out that that's not even a real image. You fool! So yeah, that's nothing too. Be careful with that AI. Gotta watch these things very carefully. You can't just say, "Oh, look what I found." Can you imagine that? Like, what a stupid ass you must be. I mean, yeah, you're an actor. Look, listen to me. Actors, all my actor friends that know me too, and I say this to you guys all the time. You're actors, not activists. Yeah. Chill. So just do your movie.
I completely agree.
I'm sorry. I get it all excited.
What do you think? Way back when, before Black Adam, before Dwayne Johnson wanted to do all of that with DC, and now that he's fired from DC, he's obviously looking to go into more comic books because he is a comic book fan. He is a nerd just like us.
Yeah.
He wanted to play Luke Cage, and he even actually posted a picture of him in a Speedo, almost to be like, I could be Namor. Obviously Luke Cage is taken now. And Namor's taken unless something big happens with either of those actors, which I don't think will. And I honestly think that they were perfect for their roles.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you believe his perfect role for the MCU is, or should he just stay out of it?
Oh, that's going to be hard with The Rock, especially where, you do have Power Man's already taken up Luke Cage. That would have been, like, honestly, the most perfect role for him. I mean, even in height and specifications. But I do believe that they do have the right actor for Luke Cage. That dude's awesome. I love that dude for Luke Cage. So who would I get Rock to play in my MCU? Whew, that's a good question, man, because really, I mean, I can understand, like, when I saw him doing Black Adam, I understood why he was trying to do it, because there's no character in the DCEU that really can resemble The Rock other than Steel, which no one wants to see another Steel. I mean, nobody would want to see. There's no demand for Steel. I mean, do you remember Steel? Because I do. Unfortunately, I cry at night sometimes when I have it come into my head. Like, we're all going to cry tonight. Sorry. Shout out to you, Shaq. You're a good guy, but it wasn't your fault. That movie was just garbage. So, I mean, like, I would have liked to see him play Namor. Actually, I think he would have been a way better Namor than the Namor they got. Oh, God. Can you imagine having an out of shape, a man that has to swim in metric tons of water has some love handles? I can't comprehend this when all fish are not fat. Hey, what up? What up? Uh-oh, I hear some electricity going on. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't know. Is that me?
No, I think that's Mark.
So,
well, Dave.
Okay. Oh man, I was getting invaded.
I'll see if you can figure it out.
So I'm still trying to figure out who the hell he could play. Okay, I would have gave him like no, I really don't know. I really can't pick one for Rock, unfortunately. I mean, there is a Falcon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a new Falcon too, so it's not even like he could play the newest Falcon, because obviously
I know who he could play. I just thought about it, and I think he would be a badass with it, but he's just going to need to grow a little fade. He could play Blade. There you go. I will put him as the new Blade. Definitely will put him as Blade. He has the charisma, and he could pull it off with no problem. That would be the perfect character for him. If I had to cast Rock today, I would cast him as the new Blade. Definitely. That's like, to me, that's the only part that I could really see him in, that he would actually kick ass, and it would fit his wrestling persona as far as someone who, like, because if you think about it, Blade, what was Blade about? He was strong, quick, fast, and he always has smart shit to say, just like a wrestler does, So I think Blade would be the, who would you pick? I mean, that's my pick. I'm going with Blade. I think Blade would be perfect for him.
I'm honestly not sure.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think of like characters that he looks like, and I'm trying to like honor his Samoan heritage, because I know that that's something that he's really about.
Yeah.
That's much better.
There we go. Yeah.
So we're talking about now that The Rock has not officially been fired, he's been fired for a while. Who would you have him play in the MCU? And obviously, Mike at the Spires Lair saying Blade. I'm still at a loss. Like, I'm not sure that there's a character that I would say he's best fit for, the way that like Black Adam just naturally he landed in. I honestly believe if I were to put him as someone, probably an X-Men.
Did you say that The Rock was fired? Who was he fired from?
Oh, fired from DC.
DC.
Oh, he got canned?
Oh yeah, that was back like about I would say about a couple months after Black Adam pretty much was done. Yeah, it was a wrap. He got canned.
Oh damn.
All
right.
Oh yeah. All right. It was big news back in the day. But I guess like I don't with that whole Black Adam thing, it's what I understand what he was trying to do, because there was no hero that even in the DC he could have really fit. And I get that, and I'll be honest, like people like us, real comic nerds, we know who Black Adam is, and I laughed when I saw it, because like literally not even the same looking person, all good. I thought that he could pull that off, but the thing is that you took a character that's like it's like trying to take the Marvels and make it into a big budget movie. Would have been fine as a series if you would have hacked it up into like 3 parts, but to take those characters that no one is seeking out. Like, we know him, you understand? We know him, but these like the fan base don't know who Captain Photon is, don't know the difference between Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, you know. So when you have that kind of dynamic, unfortunately, what happens is you're just not going to make anything, because he tried to put his back into a character that was mid in the DCEU and try to elevate it into a main character. But I did like the attempt of doing that, because I would have liked to have seen a badass Black Adam flying around the world.
Well, that's what Marvel's been trying to do for the past year too, and it's been hit or miss.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would have liked to see that Batman. I would have liked to see that Superman and Black Adam dynamic. But, you know, it is what it is. I mean, it's just, unfortunately, you got to be careful what characters you're picking. And, you know, it's not his fault. There's no character that met his requirement that he could have filled. That was the closest thing I think he could have came to. And even in the MCU, I mean, I only see villain roles for him other than the Blade, because I don't, like I said, everything's taken.
I think I've got the perfect role for him.
All right, what is
it's a character that we've never heard his voice, so Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson could play it any way he wanted to.
Okay.
He doesn't have to be buff for this role. He can be a voice actor and kind of put his own spin, kind of the same way that Bradley Cooper did to Rocket and Vin Diesel did to Groot. And this character's been hinted at for years now. Beta Ray Bill.
Oh, you know what? That's fascinating. Can we put a horse face on him? The answer is yes. No, but I think that is a good point. I think that is a good point, though. Beta Ray Bill, yeah, because all you gotta do is get a horse head, and he's a rap. Yeah, I think you can do it.
I don't think he would want to do that, though. I think he wants to have his face on screen. You know,
I think so.
That presence. You know, you think about it, he's gonna put.
Can you imagine the face?
Character.
Can you imagine the face, though? You can CGI this and put his face into it. It won't look. I don't think it could look worse than MODOK. Nothing could look worse than MODOK. I don't care what you do. You could have put Rocky's face on that, and it would look better than MODOK. Nothing could look worse than MODOK. I would love to see that. That would be funny, but yeah, you got a good point there. I never even thought about that as a playable character. And wait, that is a really crazy concept. Do it, Rock. Come on. Don't worry about it.
I don't know. I don't know if you guys ever watched the movie Scorpion King back in the day with him in it.
Oh yeah.
How bad he looked with that CGI.
Oh, that was my God. You see that? That thing was scary. I was like, what the hell? And he got a movie out of that.
Could you imagine him as Beta Ray Bill with his face on there with a horse little
with that kind of graphics? Yes, just like that. With those kind of graphics. That would
be hilarious. That'd be so bad.
Oh my God. I just wanted to show you guys real quick 2 pickups I made like recently. Check this out.
So I know you were talking a little bit. I was listening to a little bit about who you thought would potentially play or be cast as Blade. So who are you guys thinking?
Well, that's why I was saying that when we were talking about, you know, who could be casted, like The Rock, that's what I mentioned him as being Blade, because I feel like out of all of the characters in the MCU, for his persona, meaning not just him as an actor, but him as a wrestler and the entertainer that he is, that Blade would fit perfect for him. Because if you ever see how Blade is, he's that kind of character. Like, he's always pissed off, but he has so much smart lines to say. I mean, he always has smart shit to say. And that's what I love about Blade. Like, you know, he's just one of those people that he says it like in a way where he's sounding mean, but, you know, he's really goofing off too. Like, it's like if Spider-Man's talking crap to you, but he's talking crap to you, but he's being serious. Where Spider-Man's being silly about it. Meanwhile, this guy is literally talking crap to you and whooping your ass at the same time. I can see The Rock's personality translating into a role like that. I think it would be actually good for him to play something like that. I mean, because the actor that they got playing Blade now, there's a lot of like they're talking about replacing that actor before he even got started.
Wait, who's the actor that they have played?
I forget his name. He's a English dude, And this is the
I thought he left.
right, or then okay, so he left. I forgot what it was.
You're not talking about Marshall Ali. You're talking about Marshall Ali.
Yeah, that's what
he
I'm talking
left.
about.
He left after.
Okay, so he
I think
definitely
after
left.
seeing
Okay.
after seeing the initial, I guess, script that was written for it, he was kind of like all set, and he left because obviously he's a big name actor. He doesn't want to be putting his name on a crappy script.
He was in was he in Werewolf by Night? I think he was, right?
If I'm not mistaken. No.
He wasn't. Okay.
Look.
Yeah, I actually liked Werewolf by Night, and I would feel like I don't know. It's just
I loved Werewolf by Night. That was cool.
This is how
it was phenomenally done.
Yeah, this is
I
how
love the black and white.
I mean,
that was awesome.
I want to watch it in color now.
Yeah, this is the way that a lot of Disney and Marvel should be shot. I mean, I don't know if you guys have been watching Echo or not.
I want to start it. I haven't seen it yet though.
I mean, I caught a few episodes of it, and I gotta be honest, it's just like I don't know. I have very mixed
how's the action?
The action is mid. I mean, it's not like it's a trailer, is what it is. The trailer looks great, but when you get to it, you don't for me so far. I'm not seeing enough Kingpin, and it's missing. It's lacking. I'm gonna watch the entire thing and do a review on it because I don't want to say that it's bad or good. I'm just saying for what I feel right now, it's almost coming to the point where any momentum that they were having, they're starting to lose it now in the next episode, and then episode 5 is coming. And I'm just afraid it's just gonna. It kind of reminds me of when I was watching The Mandalorian season 3, and then it started falling off the rails. Once Bo-Katan came, she had to save him. He had to go to the waters, and once that's what I feel like. It's almost like that kind of a setup. It's setting up to be something extraordinarily preachy. That's not going to probably make any sense in the comic book realm. And I'm also hearing that Echo's powers now have changed, and she could channel the ancestors. And that's what I'm hearing is the complaint is the channeling of the ancestors.
Interesting.
Is that a bad thing? I've never read an Echo book.
Well, Echo is her powers are pretty much like I would say a deaf daredevil in a way, But in this series, her powers are coming from her right. Her powers Her powers are becoming
a street fighter.
Her eyesight's better.
Right. She went from being a street fighter to a magical ancestral warrior somehow, and that's the problem I'm having with it.
She's like a Kenshi for Mortal Kombat.
She's like a Shen-Chi for the MCU. That's what I feel is gonna happen. I feel that the last episode, I haven't watched it yet, so whoever knows me, don't let me know. But I just feel like the whole last episode is about to go full-blown MCU. I don't know how. I just feel it, like the way that's going in that direction. I just hope it doesn't, because if it does, then it's going to ruin it for me. But
somebody said that Rotten Tomatoes has it at a 73% right now, and
that's not bad.
It's not bad. I mean, honestly, not everything can be an 80% for me. For something to get an 8 out of 10, it's got to really blow me away. To get a 9 out of 10, I've got to be knocked out of my chair at some point. To get a 10 out of 10, fair. I need to be sitting there drooling by the end of it because I can't take my jaw off the floor. A 7 out of 10 is not bad. When did we get so critical of these shows and movies that 73%, it's low for the MCU, but not everything is going to be a banger.
But also remember this is a TV show, so we a lot of people try to put such harsh emphasis on the shows. They're shows though, people. These are mids. These are your B plus, C plus, actors. Because let's be honest, from what I can see, Echo looks like more of a setup for the Daredevil Born Again series to me. But you're not.
Because Daredevil's in it, Kingpin's in this series, right?
The fight. Okay, the fight that I. The fight that I thought they were.
I heard. How was the fight scenes? How was the fight? How was the fight choreography?
Okay, so there was one fight, right, where Daredevil's fighting Echo, and I mean, at the beginning, the fight is actually pretty good. I mean, I enjoyed like the first minute and a half, and then some weird stuff started happening. Well, I was really disappointed because I really thought that they were gonna actually like take that out. It was just something that was like a rough cut. But I mean, you don't have to really sit there and pay attention to it. But you can see like her kicks are not even coming close to him. His hits, it looks cool. They're not hitting each other. And he does the most weirdest thing I ever seen anybody do. Like he kind of like kicks her he grabs her leg and uses one of the sticks to hit her in the back of the knee. But when he hits her, she flings out of it somehow. But now your knee is supposed to have been just completely shattered from the back. But you can see like he doesn't hit it with force. So I'm like, I can get that. You don't want to hurt. But then she does some weird shit. She literally just spins around in a circle, catches her leg while it's all messed up, and then whips her leg to his face, and then still stands on this leg and runs backwards like she didn't even hit it. Then he jumps over a freaking fence, and she actually grabs a shotgun. And I slowed it down just to see. I thought they were going to take care of that. She shot him, no problem. You can see the explosion right as Daredevil's coming down. Nothing happens to this man. Not a damn scratch. I'm like, no, stop it. No, go back and please fix that. You cannot shoot somebody dead blank with a freaking shotgun and then say it didn't hit him when you could see the smoke. Like, I'm not trying to be critical. I'm just saying I'm trying to get lost in a fight scene that was looking good until those couple of things that were going on, and it just didn't make no sense to me. I'm like, why would you leave that as a final cut? It looks horrible. Even for a show, it's like you don't care at this point. You did, and I'm telling you, half of the fight was good. That's what I'm mad about, because you took such a good, like, I'm watching this like happy. I'm like, look at this. This is what I want. What the hell was that?
And I haven't seen any of the episodes yet, but like
when you get up to that part, you'll understand what I'm saying.
I'm not trying to be critical of a fight scene.
Yeah, I'm not being too critical of the fight scene. What I'm trying to say is that it was something that was completely noticeable. Like, no matter, I'm trying to just look at this as a fan, and first time I know Daredevil, and I know that what kind of fighter Echo's supposed to be at this point. So, and then the crazy part that I hear is when they were talking to Charlie Cox when he was getting ready to do the character, and he talks to the production team, and he goes, okay, I'm just trying to understand one thing. I got the script, I got everything, but he's blind, she's deaf. How do they communicate? No one thought about it. They say it themselves. I'll show you the clips. They say it themselves. They didn't even think about, how would they communicate? You guys are writing this for months. You didn't think about how a blind person is going to communicate with a deaf person. Like, it didn't come to your, but Charlie Cox got to bring this to your attention, which shout out to you, because that's what I would be wondering.
The way the wind pushes when they do American Sign Language, you can see it.
But they didn't even think about it. That was the funny part. In their own words, they were like, well, we're like writing this in months in, and we're like, well, we didn't even think about that. Oops. My bad. Marvel, I keep telling you, don't worry. Mid-March, I'll be back around. Don't worry, Marvel. I got plenty of writing going on. I gotta get the right writer.
I can understand how that got over one person's head, maybe even two or three. Like, they didn't think about it because they're not blind, they're not deaf. So they didn't think about how these two people communicate. They just naturally assume there's a communication.
But you're writing the goddamn story. That's the whole point. Exactly. You're writing the story. So you gotta think this person's blind, this person's deaf. Something gotta click in your mind somewhere. You ever seen the movie? Listen, for all your youngsters, grab this movie with Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder. See no evil, hear no evil. The minute I saw the Daredevil and I saw this Echo, that's the first thing I thought. See no evil, hear no evil. One guy's deaf, the other guy's blind. Like, you know, and what a great dynamic. They found the way to communicate. That was what the whole movie was about. A blind man and a deaf man going out into the world trying to communicate with not only each other, but the world. That was the whole plot. And then you just see what happens when you throw them out in the world, and it's just comedy gold, you know? So I mean, you know, the modern writer, listen, man, y'all gotta study some of the greats. I would go back to like I wouldn't go too far back. Start in 82 and just watch movies and pick whatever you want, comedies, pick sci-fi, whatever you want. Just start in the 80s. Because Generation X, I'm sorry, still has the best movies to this day, from the late 80s to the mid 90s, up into even the early 2000s. The whole entire phase one was nothing more than a crowdfunded experiment. And that was pretty much the most essential part of the MCU that you see that came from that. But that's all old school. All old school. Right down to that part. And then you start seeing phase two, phase three, and everything. Like, for me, it just started getting more jumbled. How do you explain this? Oh, multiverse. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. You know, you got to give excuse after excuse. It's all good. I don't even care for, like, I say right now, the way Marvel is, in general, you can write whatever the hell you want. I mean, you know, I like the American Chavez character. My fiance was looking at it today, and she was like, oh, man, you know, that's a cool character. Where's the men? And I started laughing because I had to explain to her the world that she
was
didn't know
she
that.
in the show too?
No, but I wish we were watching the Multiverse of Madness, and I was just rewinding to that part where she gets kicked out of the lesbian utopia, and my girl's looking at it, and she really liked what she sees. So I had to sit down and explain to her that there's no men in this world. And the next thing she said was, well, how the hell did the women become about? I said, well, this is so weird. I have no idea to never explain it. And she says, I can see why people say these characters are becoming stupid, and walked away very disappointed. Now, she's a fan, and she's not like a huge fan, but to explain that to someone who's never understood comics, and I had to sit down and explain to you, well, this is a world where they're all women. There's no men. There's the matriarchy, and somehow, and I made a joke about it too. I said, and this is why her parents got lost in the dimension, because there was no man to keep that in charge, and they just got scattered by her emotions. And she started laughing when I said that. I said it as a joke, but hey, you take it how you want to take it. We don't need no man. It's all good. That's why her whole family's lost.
So I will say, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you're good.
The one film in Phase 4 I had such high hopes for, and it disappointed in so many ways. I was looking so much into that because it was like the big, you know, multiverse. Yeah. Like the big multiverse film that, you know, they teased about, and it, you know, ended up being basically a Wanda 2.0 film.
Yeah, it was a WandaVision 2.0. We all got
I was so disappointed.
Don't worry. Yeah. I was so duped. I wouldn't have minded.
I was hoping for Nightmare.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I that would have been so much better, but no,
I was hoping for Nightmare in there. I was hoping for Brother Voodoo to show up. So many cool characters.
Yeah, right.
That they just completely fumbled on.
You could have put Kachunga back in there. You could have been like, let him out of his prison. You could have done all kinds of things with this. I mean, like, and I just say like this, like, I wouldn't have even minded if they would have just let us know, hey, you know what? This is all going to be about the Scarlet Witch more than anything else. Mm-hmm. And it would make sense. Sorcerer Supreme, Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
Both magic casters. Yeah. You know, the cosmic magic. They both magic casters. It would make like, but the way that they did it, it was just like, no, we're just taking this and making it a WandaVision 2.0. And I liked WandaVision, even though that was all over the place. And the stupid way that they gave Captain Photon her powers, like she just stuck to a damn. It's like, like that's like criticizing Peter Parker getting bit by a spider. Like, he didn't really earn his power. Let's say we got bit, you know, became a hero over time. It
was a canon event.
But that's what the inheritors really go into later on in the story. Which that for me, my entire timeline for my Spider-Man love ends way back in the 300s, 350s to 400s. I still read it. Don't get me wrong. I like the inheritors, but I didn't like from that point how they were trying to alter canon for canon's sake, because they wanted to follow a story. I didn't like how the inheritors story was going, because for me, that's not what Spider-Man's about. It's just an explanation as to how you got all these other spiders in the multiverse. That's what it is, pretty much. Yeah, it's a multiverse of explanation. That's what I call it. Spider-Man and the multiverse of explanation.
All of the craziness that's been going on, we finally have the first time that we've been wrong on this show. Aquaman 2 worldwide broke $236 million.
Yep, on the second weekend.
And only has grossed $103 million in the United States. Mm-hmm. But it's still sitting nicely at $339 million. So we were off a little bit. But
yeah, but we were pretty close also. And on top of that,
it's still going to flop. It's still way under what it needs to be.
Oh,
it needs to be around 500 to make money.
Yeah.
No, it needed about 550 million just to start breaking even at that point. And then
especially with how much they put it off, how many reshoots they did. Like the budget doesn't even.
The budget was what, 205 million or something. It was a high budget for DC movie.
That budget was actually about 245 to 250 million with all the reshoots. But like I said, when they give you initial budgets, you got to go back and really look at the cost. Like there's a budget, and then look at the cost-effective readjusted budget, because they do that. But you have to look for it specifically, because they do this all the time. If they're reshooting, you're automatically going to throw about 10 million on top of that. I'd say for a movie, you could throw a movie of that. If you're looking to spend about $100+ million and you're doing a reshoot, 10 to 20 million, just add to that, because that's what it's going to be pretty much. I mean, it usually comes out to about that much on big budget movies.
The Marvels did not do very much with what's it called? Marketing. They kind of just were like, people know about this. If they want to see it, they want to see it. We're not going to sit here and continue to let people know about it.
How much did they spend on marketing?
Well, I believe
it was 270 was the adjusted, but that obviously is like with all of the COVID money and stuff added in. So it ended up being closer to, I believe, like 220 to 250, but still a high budget.
Wow.
And it, without marketing, it broke even.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and you gotta understand with the marketing. Let me explain about that. They knew it was gonna be a bomb, so why waste the money?
Oh yeah,
which was a smart thing to do. The same thing with Echo, because with Echo, they already knew, like, this Echo series was supposed to be canceled to begin with, but, it was so, the reshoots were done.
It's Kingpin, it's Daredevil, people are going to watch it.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's that dynamic that's trying to get people drawn in.
Yep.
And like I said, it's decent, but I just know, I just got that feeling that it's coming. I can feel it. The MCU, it's just coming. I don't know how yet. It's just coming. So I just don't want to be disappointed. I just hope that they don't do what I think they're going to do. And because I don't want to give away any spoilers, so I'm not going to talk mine anymore. But there's two things I see that they're doing already that I don't like. And in other words, don't be chumping my boy Kingpin. That's all I'm going to say about that. Yep. I'm going to leave like that. Don't chump Kingpin. How dare you? Don't break that, man. He's a villain. He breaks you.
So Aquaman obviously ended up putting more money into the marketing than what they probably had originally planned, because they wanted to see how big they can make it.
Oh, yeah.
But by doing that, they're now inflating how much money they need to make in order to break even. So it's like, okay, you pushed it to that extra 100 million.
They're not going to come close to breaking even.
Exactly. You pushed it the extra 100 million, but you probably spent 100 million just to do that in marketing.
Yeah.
So is it really worth it?
And the answer is
No.
Definitely not. For almost any movie, even if you're going forward in the future, understand something. Advertisement, I mean, we're in the wrong business. We should all be in the advertisement. I watch Mad Men. I'm like, I want to get into that business. These guys were making bank back in the day because that's where the money lies, in advertisement. Okay? Now, I look at it like this. If you have a movie, an intellectual property that's already famous, you don't need to be pushing all this advertisement that you're pushing. This is just something that is done one hand versus the other. Tradition. Listen, sometimes with traditions, they're meant to be broken. So I would say for anyone that's going forward from this point on, concentrate on making a movie and concentrate on staying to as low as budget as you can with as much internet free buzz that you can get. And here's the way I would do it. So Marvel, DC, and anyone who wants to ever advertise, go to YouTube. Give it to creators. Say, look, here you go. Wanna help me advertise my stuff? I'll let you watch it. And you tell me what you think honestly. Not biased. I don't care. And that's the thing that I would like to see done. I think that that's a better avenue to go because, first of all, you give it creators now, something to talk about, something to work towards. And on top of that, you're not spending billions of dollars. You can still get your word out there. I mean, I just look at it like this. If I'm going to advertise something, I want to go to the fan base directly itself, not to an advertiser that's going to put it on a network that may be seen by 60% of my audience. I want to go to my audience directly, to you guys directly. Be like, look, this is what I got. Here's the clip. Enjoy. And that's
because we're going to spread the word amongst people who don't watch this stuff.
Listen, it's like this. You're going to have people who are fans about this period. We're fans, We just so happen to have a show. But we're fans, first and foremost. And this is what you want. I want to see people, like I watch Neurotic, shout out to them. I want to see people like that who are excited about something because I like what they like. And there's a lot of YouTubers who are very passionate about movies. Critical Drake is another one of them. Like, these are people like that I like to follow and I watch. And these people hold sway in what they say. And these are the people that won't be hitting you over the head with millions of dollars in advertisement fees and all that. And will get the word out cost effectively. Because when it's time for me to do what I need to do, that's the route I'm going to take. Why would I go the regular route and pay millions of dollars for something I don't need to pay for? Everyone has Instagram. Everyone has YouTube. Everyone definitely has YouTube. I will say everyone has Instagram. I'll say 75 to 80% of people have Instagram. Same thing with with TikTok and all that. So there is a social media for a reason. You can build. I make my own freaking commercials on my own stations, and I advertise my own. If I'm making a video, I throw my own product in there. I mean, this is just things that you don't have to go the traditional route and spend hundreds of millions of dollars. And believe me, the advertisers don't want to hear that. You're putting them out of business. But
and we're paying attention to it.
Yeah.
Like we're paying attention to all of this stuff that's coming out. Like all of the leaks that are coming out about Deadpool 3, we're watching them. We're seeing what it looks like, and we're saying this looks good. I mean, I'm gonna go into that movie no matter what. There's nothing that is gonna keep me out of that theater. And that goes the same for pretty much everyone who's seen Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2. I honestly believe everybody's gonna flock to that theater.
Movie,
will it succeed? I don't know, but it's so hard to tell with movies these days.
I think the movie will succeed just because of the natural fan base. Obviously, Wolverine's gonna be in it. Deadpool's in it. They're both like A-list characters, for the mainstream public. Whether the movie will be good is a different story, but it will. I think it will be a box office success.
Well, I'm going to say that the movie doesn't have to be good in a way where the character that you got playing, which is the Deadpool character and the Wolverine character, and the way that they're doing it, it's not going to be the typical, the costuming alone. That's the old school Wolverine 97 costume. Fantastic. But you're not going to get that 97 Wolverine. Just think about Deadpool's going to be more like a buddy movie than anything else. I know it doesn't seem like it's going to be, but if you look at Ryan Reynolds in the last 2 installments of Deadpool, his dream was one thing and one thing only: to fight again with Wolverine. That was his dream. His entire existence was to get with Wolverine again. That's it.
And then it's gonna be persona. I think it's gonna be like a one and done too, just like similar to like the Multiverse of Madness when we had like the dream team with the council characters, when you had Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier, you had John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. I think it's going to be the same scenario with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. It'll be that one and done, and then they'll obviously recast him because he's going to be probably Wolverine from a different universe, and he's probably going to get killed off or somehow like that.
Yeah, and plus,
which I'm fine with. I
think me too. I expect that it's going to happen,
and I think he's not at the state where he wants to continue playing this character long term anymore. He loves the character. Right. He loves being him, but at the same time, he's getting older.
Like he's doing basically a fan service at this point.
Exactly, and he knows it. I mean, this is. But again, this is another instance where all of the marketing has been done on Instagram and YouTube. Everything Deadpool accepted a fucking Golden Globe for Ryan Reynolds for a movie Deadpool isn't even in. Like this is the stuff that Ryan Reynolds knows how to do, and that's why this movie, come hell or high water, will most likely be successful.
It's gonna be
will it be this big blockbuster? Probably not, but like it will do more than break even, that's for sure.
Well, I'm gonna
it'll make money. It'll make money.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a prediction right now about this movie. And
break out the breaking news. Breaking news.
Yeah, breaking news. I'll make a prediction about this, and trust me, I'm gonna get the budget right. I say this movie's gonna make over $1 billion for sure, and I'm gonna say even better that it may push towards $1.5 billion, and I'm gonna explain to you why I feel this way. It's not just like I'm throwing numbers out there. No,
that's a bold number.
But listen, what's coming out for Marvel? Think about that for a second. You have nothing.
When's the movie come
really out? Coming. It's coming out. I
July?
do believe in July.
Oh, it's right around the holiday.
Right. So there's nothing for the rest of the year significant that's coming out for Marvel other than this movie. So that's one reason why I feel this way, because now you're not going to have an oversaturation of Marvel product out there that we've had in the last couple of years. And on top of that, this is long anticipatedly waited. Like people have been clamoring and waiting for this to the point that, like we were talking about with the advertisement, this movie is so respected that there were people leaking photos. Okay, and I know because I was getting the photos too, but I wasn't leaking them because I was like,
but people I don't want to blow the movie for anything.
Ryan Reynolds went online and just asked people to stop leaking the photos. And you know, they stopped leaking the photos. That's respect. I like that. When I saw that, that's how I knew. I was like, oh, this movie's gonna be $1 billion movie then, because people are paying attention to every little detail.
But I guess
even being told by the actual staff, Ryan Reynolds like, we love the enthusiasm, but we don't want to give away things, and we want things to be surprised. Can you please like respect what we're doing? Like he didn't say it to be mean to the fans. He was saying, I want everyone to have the same joy that we're putting in there. Like when you guys went to go see Spider-Man, when I went to go see Spider-Man, I freaking screamed like a little girl when I saw all three of them. I ain't gonna lie, I did. That's what I want when I go into Deadpool, and that's what you're gonna get in Deadpool. Believe me, there's a lot of stuff you're gonna see in there that is gonna be shocking, and I can't.
No Way Home made $1.922 billion, and
I
Deadpool being a rated R film. I could see making probably half that.
Right, but
so that's the thing, problem.
The thing about that is that the rated R is not pushed 100% yet. It's at the PG-13 level. So adjusted for the fact that, because of what they're trying to do. They're trying to make more money. But this is fan service movie. So I'm pretty sure they're going to get the R rating. But they don't want it because they know that will cut down a significant amount of people who go see it. But maybe this will be the first R-rated movie in history that breaks over $1 billion. I hope so. You know, Oppenheimer came close to doing that. I mean, for an R-rated movie. But yeah, it's gonna be like I said. I can see this being over $1 billion because, like I said, just for the fact that you have all of nothing coming for the next year, and this is going to be the biggest film, and this is going to be like a wrap up to the Deadpool series, and it's a great way to go out with the character. I don't think that Ryan Reynolds should come back as Deadpool, or Wolverine should come back as Wolverine. I've seen them enough, and this is a good way to send off the characters. I mean, every major star who plays these major roles should have what I like to call like the final curtain, the good send off. This is a great send off for the Deadpool character, and the best R-rated Marvel movies that were made was the Deadpool movies. I mean, I love them.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So there's a few things going that I don't think it'll hit the 1.5 billion as you suggested. First and foremost is probably Marvel Disney is at an all-time low right now when it comes to viewership. And, between that and obviously the fan base is kind of like all set with the whole several phases that we're in, especially how mediocre phase 4 was. And, the start to phase 5 is, obviously not an improvement at all either. So that's going against it right now. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to go see the movie. Obviously I'm a big fan of Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah. If it does get the R rating, it will obviously impact the amount of box office tickets that it will get. There's only, so I'm kind of hoping they get a PG-13, but I do obviously want to see some of the rated R aspects of it that we all want to see from a Deadpool movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
This is another movie that I feel needs an R rating. Is Venom 3?
Venom 3,
depending on what they do with it. Venom 3 needs to be R rated.
Definitely, that would benefit.
Yeah,
for sure. All three of them should have been.
The previous 2 Deadpool movies were both rated R, right? Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes, they were.
Okay.
So
yes, they both. Do you guys remember how much those movies grossed?
I can't think of it right off the bat.
So
it wasn't no $1 billion.
Yeah, so the only $1 billion R-rated film is Joker.
Joker. Yeah.
Phoenix film. Oppenheimer was It was 955 million.
Yeah. Did you guys watch Oppenheimer?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Yes.
Oh, you gotta watch it. That movie was fantastic.
I loved it.
And then
it was my movie of the year.
Deadpool made 782 million, and Deadpool 2 made 785 million.
See,
and that's why I don't think it'll hit 1.5.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely feel like it's got to struggle for 1.5, but I definitely feel that this is going to hit the $1 billion mark for sure because
I think it can come close to $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
And now you got full blown Wolverine in this. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not just Deadpool.
Yeah.
It's full blown Wolverine, the way we always wanted to see Wolverine, not Days of Futures Past Wolverine or Wolverine like trying out for the X. No, we're talking about 97 X-Men Wolverine costume. That right there is going to make up that $200 million that you didn't get for the other movies, and they'll push it.
Speaking of Wolverine,
good.
Logan made $600 million.
Yeah, look at that, and that's Logan with no Wolverine costume.
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine this: we're getting an X-Men version of Wolverine in a Deadpool movie. This is why
R-rated Wolverine.
An R-rated Wolverine.
Hopefully R-rated Wolverine.
Yeah,
hopefully we assume it's going to be rated R. We're assuming.
Yeah.
I would love to see a PG-13 Deadpool versus Wolverine movie where both of them are trying to figure out who gets to say fuck. Like the whole movie is they're about to say like, no, it's not the right time yet.
Goes, no, not yet. Wait, hold on. You gotta check the contracts. Okay,
like that's what I loved about Guardians of the Galaxy 3. That whole scene where he goes, "What the fuck?"
You see, that's what I like about movies like that. You just get lost in them. But I really feel like this is going to be something that is going to make a lot of money just for the fact, like I said, the scheduling. It's all about the scheduling.
Who's the villain for Venom 3, Anakin?
Well,
that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, there is, from what I'm hearing about Venom 3, that there's going to be anti-venom. They're creating a new character. Toxin, yes. Okay. I think it is Toxin.
Oh, anti-venom would
Toxin's
be pretty
not
cool.
new though. Toxin's been
they're from what?
Toxin's
I think
actually been in the comics recently.
Yes.
Lethal Protector, I think, was the first appearance. Is that what we're talking?
Like
I forget. I don't remember.
He's another offspring of Venom that I believe is the reason why he needed to create anti-venom.
Okay, so here's Toxin. Yeah, he's like almost like a Carnage character, but he's actually more thoughtful. He's methodical. He's a symbiote that actually uses strategy, and like he's like this Peter Parker version of what a symbiote would be. Like that's what kind of like mind he has. He has a strategic mind in that way. He's wild, but he's reserved. So it has a high sense of justice, like Spider-Man does. Like he believes in justice, but they're all lethal protectors, so he'll believe in it in a way where he doesn't mind. Like
Venom.
Well, that would make sense why people are saying that this
series was the first appearance.
Offspring of Carnage. That's why it would make sense that people are saying that this is going to be labeled Venom Lethal Protector.
Yeah, I think it will be labeled that as such. And that's what I'm hearing, that the premise is supposed to be Venom and Toxin are supposed to team up. And that's
Are they teaming up against Anti-Venom or somebody else?
No, the Anti-Venom, I think, is going to be what Eddie Brock picks up from fighting Toxin or one of the other symbiotes. It's just a weird story because, like, right now, it's like I'm trying to figure out who is this other symbiote they're talking about. But from what I gather, this symbiote doesn't exist now. The new one that they're trying to make the new villain. But Toxin is in it, and he's the one that's going to team up with Venom. And their sense of justice is what's going to unbind them together. They both have a sense of justice where, in this universe anyway, Eddie Brock's Venom wants to still kill, but does it out of respect for Eddie. Same thing with Toxin. Yeah. Toxin doesn't want to kill. Can kill, it's a lethal protector, but uses more, like I said, it has more of Spider-Man's moral code and thinks more like Spider-Man. But that is, from what I understand, the offspring of Carnage. So it didn't act like a Carnage symbiote would have acted. It actually became more in control and more of a sense of justice. So I do like that dynamic of the story. So that's all I have with that right now. I don't have any more information, but I'm going to do more research into it because it sounds like a very good story. But it is going to be the last installment. Tom Hardy's not going to reprise the role again. They already had this discussion with him many times, and that's it. There was no other talks either about doing the Venom 4, because I think what's going to happen now at the end of this one is when now you're going to see this is going to mix in the Tom Hardy Spider-Man universe. And then, Tom Holland. Tom Holland. I'm sorry. I'm saying Tom Holland.
You're good. There's a shit ton of
Toms. Yeah, exactly.
Tom Hardy, Tom Holland.
Are they going to bring in Dylan Brock? Are they bringing in Dylan Brock?
That'd be nice.
Well, I haven't heard that they're bringing in Dylan Brock at this point, but anything.
They're going to tease. Yeah, bring out the Venoms, the Venom 7s, I think it is.
You got Kid Venom now. You got. Kid
Venom. Are they going to start teasing the Black Sword and Null? Is Null coming down the pipeline? Yeah. I know everybody's trying to get that.
I would love to see Null in the MCU. Honestly, I think.
Oh my god!
I think it'd be cool.
If you're gonna have Silver Surfer Sentry, you need Null. Like,
yeah,
that would just be such.
We gotta get that. We gotta get the female Silver Surfer first, though.
It's that.
Well, you gotta get Norton.
Her, yeah. Oh my god, we gotta put a chick in it and make her lame and gay. What's up with these chicks, man? Listen. Stop with this inclusiveness. Everybody can say it's inclusive. No, it's been inclusive. It's been inclusive.
I did.
Chicks in it since the beginning.
I did pick up a cool.
So you're saying Star Wars has had
Spider-Man key.
Wait, sorry, what was that?
I did pick up a cool Spider-Man woman key. I recorded it right before I hopped on. I'll show you guys what it was. Cool character.
Oh, let me see.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with.
Nice.
Oh yes, I have that. Oh man, Amazing
Yeah.
Fantasies number 1000, right? That's the first.
No, yeah, number one.
Cinnamon Moon.
First Anya Corazon.
Yeah.
Nice.
I did pick that
I
up
like
recently.
that one. I was in the Cortez. Yeah. I got this one recently, but this was like I got this for the steal. One of those Spider Boys that were made like the Amazing Fantasies 15 cover. I love this one. I was gonna buy it. Then like I found a good. Yeah, I was gonna buy it. Yeah, and then like I found a great deal for it online, and I grabbed this CGC. But I also grabbed this one too because I said I wasn't gonna grab it, but you know I have to because
Spider-Man.
This is the first appearance of Spider Boy. Well, that's Spider-Man. That's the first appearance of Spider Boy. That's the official first one, which I keep telling you, Dan Slott, you didn't create Spider Boy. You didn't create him, but you know, unfortunately, it has to go into the archives now. It's getting too hot, this book. So yeah, I love all these new stories and what they're trying to work with the movies, but I just feel like I don't know, this Deadpool movie, I feel like it's kind of like I don't put it in a phase, like the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. I put it in its own little universe because I feel like because it's R-rated and it doesn't really fit, it kind of would fit if everything else can convert around that Deadpool, but nothing will convert around it. So it doesn't fit. It's outside of the realm of what the modern MCU is, but it fits in a way that for fans like me, I appreciate what they're trying to do with this character. I think Ryan Reynolds loves being Deadpool, and I love the fact that he loves being Deadpool. And I think this is why it's getting the love that it's getting. And that's what you want. Like, you don't want just somebody to write something because it's going to make the money or to be in a movie because, of course, you know, that's what it's about. But I want somebody who's going to actually like what they're doing as well. You know, like you can see in your work. It doesn't matter what you do in life. If you hate your job, it'll reflect in your work. If you love your job,
absolutely.
Same thing, reflects in your work. And I like Ryan Reynolds for that reason because everything he does is about obsessive work. And everything he does reflects in his work. I mean, I got to do the research, but I know he made like over $1 billion recently selling some company. And I know he has like a cell phone company, Mint Mobile.
He has that cell phone company too.
Yeah, but he still has that, and that's doing very well from what I can understand. But he had this company that he did a startup on, and he sold it recently. I just got to look up exactly what the company was, but made over $1 billion. So the guy really is like passionate about what he puts his time into. And if you're that passionate about what you put your time into, that makes me passionate about wanting to go watch it and go support it. You see, because that's what movies are supposed to be about. Not just about the things that we like to be entertained, but also if you see somebody who's putting in that above and beyond touch into their work, I respect that more than anything else because that to me is loyalty to the materials. What's that? I'm sorry.
He sold his Aviation American gin brand to Diageo for $600 million.
Okay, yeah, you see that's what I'm talking about. This man, don't sleep on Ryan Reynolds, people. This man's a genius. That's why I like Ryan Reynolds. He's a freaking genius. I mean,
that's the easiest. If you have money, the easiest way to make money is start your own or put stake in a liquor company.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There's a lot of money in alcohol, obviously. You know, like we were talking before about The Rock. The Rock has his own, I think, gin is it or tequila company?
He has his own tequila company.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Conor McGregor did that as soon as he won that. He fought with Floyd Mayweather. What did he do? He went over to Ireland and bought 6 of the oldest distilleries and started making his own
He made his own Irish whiskey and then he sold it. He made tons of money.
That man I think he
partnered with UFC too when he did that.
He partnered with them. He took his stake and put it back into them, which is now they're owned by Endeavor.
I'm sure you've probably heard of it. He advertised it was called Proper 12. Proper 12 was the company.
I actually had it too. It was actually pretty good. I mean, it had like a old smoky taste.
I bought a bottle. It was nice and smooth. It was really smooth.
I mean, because you could tell, like if you ever have real Irish whiskey, I mean, it's all about the equipment. You gotta understand. You can't get that kind of taste of whiskey unless you are working with old equipment that's very well maintained, by the way. But This is old equipment. The tins and the coppers.
Yeah, so I'm not surprised. Like Ryan Reynolds made like $600 million off gin because, like I said, alcohol, distilleries, all that stuff, big money, big money.
See, I didn't know what it was that he made money off of, but I know it was a startup that he owns.
Yeah,
like $1 billion.
it was. It was a gin. He sold a gin company. Yeah.
We're gonna have to make a Symbiverse.
What is it gonna be? Tequila? What's gonna be this symbiotics drink of choice?
Symbiotic Bacardi. That's it. We're gonna do some Bacardi. We gotta do Bacardi.
Symbiverse brewing.
Rum. I'm doing Symbiverse rum. There you go. We gotta do rum. Everybody's doing. Everyone's doing tequila.
You gotta change it up.
Definitely.
600 million, Anakin.
600 million. He made. He made 600 million.
So, on that note, I'm gonna go to bed and come up with some $600 million ideas.
There you go. Start small, dream big.
Yep.
There you go. Start big.
Have a great night.
I'm kidding. Dream big, everybody. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for having us on as always. See ya.